Welcome back, dear participants. I would like to welcome you all to our afternoon session right here at the EPICUR Forum, where we are going to begin with our panel discussion next. I would like to welcome all viewers here on Zoom. Great to have you with us. And of course, also a very warm welcome to all of our viewers over on the live stream who are following us on YouTube. My name is Kimsi von Reichach, and it is my pleasure to be your moderator during this next panel discussion. We are going to talk next about entrepreneurial student clubs and how they are hotbeds for startups at universities. Universities really offer entrepreneurial students excellent conditions in developing and also in fostering their entrepreneurial ideas. It is often the Entrepreneurial Student Associations that are really well embedded in the local entrepreneurial environment, and they offer ideal conditions, or can offer ideal conditions, like co-working spaces, like mentorships, like support programs, and much, much more. In the next up to 90 minutes, we'll introduce entrepreneurial students clubs from the EPICUR universities. We're going to introduce them to a European stage, and we're going to offer them the opportunity to present themselves among the EPICUR network, and of course also outside of it. We will, in the next 90 minutes, look at the good practices. We're going to look at what works, what doesn't work in work and projects. We're going to raise awareness for the challenges that these student clubs are facing, and maybe, and this is what I hope, come up with some solutions on how to overcome them. Alexander Tittel from NTechnon is also part of the EPICUR organizational task force, my trusted co-moderator, I can say at this point, during the forum. He will be here in the panel discussion, and he will have not only one, but he will have two jobs. First of all, he's going to take your questions, dear audience member. So if you have questions for our teams, you can just write a private message to Q&A, and Alexander will receive them and then pass them on to me. And what Alexander will also do today is he will take notes on this panel discussion, so that what is discussed today can also be followed up and doesn't just sort of go up into hot air. If you're joining us on Zoom now, I would ask you to maybe activate the gallery view and not the speaker view, so that you can see all panelists involved at the same time. We have 7 teams with us today, and next up I would like to ask them individually to introduce themselves. We've set them a very difficult task. We said you need to introduce yourself with 3 slides in 3 minutes, but could also be 4 slides in 4 minutes. That's totally fine. So with that, I would say let's begin. With the first team, please welcome Pionier Garage from KIT. Welcome, Tobias Buddig. The stage is yours.
So, yeah, happy to be here. Thank you for the stage. I'm Tobias, and I was the foremost head of Pionier Garage, and now I start an education project at Pionier Garage. But what is Pionier Garage? Let's start with that. Who are we? We have a student club for entrepreneurship at KIT, and we also run the first student-run incubator in Germany with our Launchpad, and we have over 400 members and alumni because we exist for over 11 years. We also have over 35 startups in our alumni. We offer the Launchpad, that is a co-working space and also an office for startups, but also an incubator to help students to run their own business. We provide also a network because students have great ideas, but they often lack of a big network with professionals and help in different kinds. We provide events, for example, to inspire students to start their own projects, but also to educate them and provide for further knowledge and help. With our challenges, we start to get our members hacking or doing something to start their own ideas. And with our startup tours, we visit the world to gain knowledge, get insights, and be inspired too. So here's a picture of our chill area in our launch pad. So it's not only for working, but also for chilling and get together to share ideas. With Grow, our big student entrepreneurship founding contest, we help more than 50 teams this year to start their own project. And this is a picture from one of the first startup tours to Silicon Valley. At the end, if you want to contact me, here you can take a photo of this slide, but also it's online. Visit pioniergarage.de, and then thank you.
Thank you very much, Tobias, for your introduction to Pionier Garage. And with that, we are on to the second team. Gregory Hebinger from ETNI in Strasbourg, I may ask you to step onto the virtual stage.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gregory from University of Strasbourg, and I'm going to present you our services for young entrepreneur. It's called ETNI. It exists for 6 years, and we have two main missions. The first mission, like Tobias said before, it's an awareness and raising mission. We do a lot of things like hackathon or startup weekends or conferences, and we reach about 2,000 students a year with 15 hotspots organized and some units that are part of courses. And what's more important for today is the support mission, the second mission. We have about 200 student entrepreneurs a year. That's quite a lot. So with the alumni, we are about 1,000. That's really important. And with our mission that you can see on the screen on the right part of the screen, that's about all our offer. That brings us to help people to create 15 to 20 company a year. We also have some co-working spaces and fab labs, specific fab labs in several fields like biology, chemistry, or robotics. We have 3 support programs a year. With one grant program, we can give some finance to young entrepreneurs. And to do that, 4 people on my team are business managers and help young people to create their company. You can see on the bottom the coordinate of our structure. It's called ETNI with the website, the email address, and all the social media contacts. Thank you.
Gregory, thank you so much for your presentation and for the overview of ETNI. And with that, let's move on to Austria now. We're going to go to Vienna. In Vienna, we can find SICK, that is the Students Innovation Center. And Florian, I may ask you to the virtual stage now to present SICK.
Thank you, Kimsi. I'll share my screen now. Oh. No, it works. Okay, thank you. I want to ask you, what do you see when you look outside on the world, look outside of the window and turn on your TV? What is it that you see? What we are seeing is that we are facing many problems and many missed opportunities. And this is where SICK comes in. We need new seeds of transformation. We need people who are capable of doing things and face those problems and get innovative solutions. That's what our vision is. It is a world in which all students are aware of their potential for change and that they have the courage and the skills to implement ideas for a holistically sustainable future. And how are we going to do it? We're first promoting talents, courage, and abilities through our workshops and events. where we present ideas and change makers. We're also helping to develop ecological social ideas in our students' consultation and in our workshops. And we're also supporting the implementation of the ideas with the already mentioned consultation and in our workshops. And to add on this, we're also doing a launchpad, but the climate launchpad, which is an event or a competition of a climate kick. But we are the Austrian national partner who does it in Austria. And we also inspire and build networks around social and ecological entrepreneurship and solutions for the problems we face. So that is SIG. It is the first students hub for ecologically and sustainable and socially sustainable projects, initiatives, and also companies in Vienna. By now, we reached over 3,000 students, helped over 50 students with their project ideas, and there were at least 30 companies that have been created or they're still working on their ideas. We all do this with a lot of love and much psychology, which we need in order to foster all this, what we want to do. This is one part of the team. If you want to reach us or reach me, contact us at office@vienna.at or visit our website at sic-vienna.at. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Florian. Synergy, I think that sounds great. I think we all need a little bit of synergy. So, of course, also thank you for the contact information. I think all of you have included their contact information at the end of the presentation. You can, of course, dear viewers, also find that on the Indico page. And with that, dear viewers, it is now time to move on to beautiful Greece. This is where we can find Mindspace. And Efi, the stage is yours.
Hello, thank you very much. Just give me a minute. Sorry. So I'm here today with my teammates, also Kiki and Georgia, and we represent the chapter of Mindspace in Thessaloniki. The first steps of Mindspace were in 2012, where a group of students in Athens started the main idea, and they wanted to change the Greek university's culture. After that, the action was spread to other Greek cities like Corfu, Patra, Xanthi, and Thessaloniki. So this is us, where in 2019, a 5-member team started. Is everything okay?
Excuse me, the presentation.
Now we can see the presentation, yes.
Right.
Okay.
Efi, I started the presentation, so just let me know when you want to click further, okay? So it's now from my screen because we couldn't see it from yours.
Okay. Next page, please. Okay. This is where I am. Great, thank you. In 2019, the chapter in Thessaloniki, which we represent, was founded by a 5-member team. They faced several problems because of COVID-19. Many actions were cancelled, but in 2020, we started a new team. So this is us. And we just tried to continue what the previous has started. After years of successful work and action spreading our word, we do continue with various actions and organize different activities in Greek cities like Ioannina, Volos, Chania, and abroad in Boston, New York, and San Francisco. Alex, next page, please. Thank you. Our mission is to grow the entrepreneurial culture in students community all over Greece. The target group, as well as the heart of Mindspace, are the students community and the volunteers who support and help us build a better future. And our actions aim to promote to young people ideas, enhance their skills, offer the right knowledge, tools, networking, and inspire them to achieve their goals and become entrepreneurs. We have several ways to achieve our goals. First of all, we have the meetups where we host different speakers, either entrepreneurs or university teachers to inspire the students. We have the Mindspace University, a Pan-Hellenic project running first time in 2020. It's the Mindspace Challenge, which is an entrepreneurial contest with the winner, which is a group of students, and they win a Mindspace trip with a fun reward. And then we have different actions, like the Think Out of the Box. These are mainly in the city of Thessaloniki. There is the visibility entrepreneurship. And this is our actions. We aim to inspire students and be innovative and experiment with different tools. Last one, please. So if you want to contact us, please do not hesitate. Thank you very much.
Ify, thank you so much. And thank you also to Alex for doing a bit of remote control action. Ify, I wasn't sure if I should stop you here now, but then you were sort of in the flow and it was like, but I thought there's a presentation. So thank you very much for that. I think we got it in the end. So from beautiful Thessaloniki, let's now move on to France again. We're going to go to Strasbourg and AP, and I will hand over now the virtual stage to Pierre.
Hi everyone, is it okay? You hear me well? Cool. So thanks everyone for this event. So my name is Pierre Chervy. I'm a French entrepreneur in deep tech, and yeah, I benefit from the biotech lab facility, which Gregory presented you just before. And I'm invited here as the president of API. So we are an association of entrepreneurs with this special statute, student entrepreneur. But it's just a statute, so meaning that it's very easy to obtain it. Anyway, our main focus is to facilitate the process of prototyping by providing unfair advantage to entrepreneurs. So here I want to present the Alsatian entrepreneurial environment ecosystem from API perspective. So if you are an entrepreneur coming in Strasbourg and you have several Fab Labs that you can access, and API is a way to access to those Fab Labs, as there is a technical point. You have to create your society because you need the business registration number to participate to the Fab Lab network. Or if you are a deep tech, this business registration number is also required. If you want to order chemicals or biological from the main suppliers, they will ask you that. So we created this association in order to give directly to the new entrepreneur a business registration number. And we also are negotiating access to institution facilities with this association. And yeah. Finally, we are also organizing event with ETNI, but with the world situation is gonna be complicated this year. Yes, can I? Yeah. So EPI is approximately 2 years old now. We are based in Strasbourg. Our mode of financing is purely based on the members' fees. We are using Conto and Atolia, which is an analog of Slack for the information management for the community. And yeah, currently we are recruiting new members, so also new members for the board. So I will not be able to tell you how many we are in this association at the present time, but I will be happy to answer to your question. Thanks a lot.
Pierre, great. Thank you so much for your presentation. And of course, we hope that at the end of the forum, there's many new members that will be joining EPI. So with that, we will come to team number 6. I would like to hand over the virtual stage now to Katarina from the Poznan Science and Technology Park. Katarina, the stage is yours.
Hello. Please give me a second. Okay. Is it okay? Can you see my first slide?
Yes, we can see and hear you perfectly.
Hello. My name is Katarina Brentinska, and I represent Poznań Science and Technology Park, which is the main department of Adam Mickiewicz University Foundation. Our structure and status is a little bit complicated, but what's the most important for today, I suppose, is how we support academic entrepreneurship, because this is one of the fields of our activity. And exactly, building an ecosystem of academic startups and corporations, this is our mission. And because I have only 3 minutes, I decided to present you 3 examples of how we do this in Poznań. First, our crafting innovation and entrepreneurship courses that we've been running for over 10 years at the Adam Mickiewicz University and also at other universities in Poland. We provide students with knowledge and, first of all, skills in how to create your own innovative business. We use such tools as design thinking, business model canvas, business pitching, and team roles by Dr. Belbin. And we believe that active participation of our students in our classes give the best results. So we prefer workshops rather than lectures. The second example is our project called The Skillers. The Skillers is a program directed and addressed to companies and to students. To companies who struggle with some challenges and need an innovative solution of some problems, and to students who we carefully select from our entrepreneurship courses and who need to find a solution to the company's problem. And this is a 12 weeks program, 12 weeks of hard work of our workshops with our mentors, with workshops in design thinking and finding solution for the real problem of a real company. And the second way, third example of how we support entrepreneurship and academic entrepreneurship are our European projects. We've been running European projects financed by the European Commission, but also by national Polish agencies for many years. And we built a pretty wide network of partners. And this is also a great tool to support academic entrepreneurship. One of our latest projects was Merlin, project finance in the framework of Horizon 2020. addressed to researchers who we were trying to convince to commercialize and to use their potential, which is their research results, to create and set up a startup. So we equip them with knowledge, with skills, and with contacts, with knowledge such as intellectual property rights, with skills in pitching an investor, for example, or choosing a right business model, and with contacts to our network, to potential clients, partners, and investors. So this is how we do this. Thank you very much.
Katarina, thank you very much for your presentation and for the overview of what you do. And last but not least, let's move on to Freiburg, to the Founders Club, where we have Marina Schreiner and Philip Georgian. I can hand over to you. One or the two of you, or maybe both. I don't know how you how you organized. Marina, ladies first.
So thanks, Kimsey. Let me just share my screen. All right. So hello, my name is Marina. Nice to meet you, everybody. I think it's really great that EPICUR gives us this great opportunity to connect. So thank you to everybody in the organizational team. I think it was also really interesting to hear about all of the different concepts of entrepreneurship at universities all over Europe. So yeah, but like, why am I here? So Philip and I, we are here in the name of the Founders Club Freiburg, which is the student initiative for entrepreneurship at the University of Freiburg. Yeah, and as you can see here in the picture, so this is our team. And the last event that was possible in person, which was really fun. And something that is quite exceptional and really interesting about us is that we are really interdisciplinary. So as you can see, we have some people from like the classic branches like economics or computer science, but we even have people from medicine, media and cultural studies, and even theology. So besides all these different backgrounds, what all of us have in common, what actually like connects us, is the will to, or basically the drive to create and to organize events and projects in our team. Especially, we try to foster not only green and social entrepreneurship, but also in general international exchange, which is why it's also so great to have this opportunity. And then especially also women empowerment. So I thought that the best way to make you like understand what we do is by just explaining like the most recent events and projects. So just gonna do it chronologically. So last year we had Spark, our digital startup competition, where we had the focus on social impact and sustainability. And it was really great because we had startup, or basically teams from all over the world. So not only from German-speaking countries, but even from the US and from India. Yeah, so that was perfect. And then I think the next one was probably going global. So that was a project we did together with basically an incubator from Australia. And they were basically from Adelaide, and that was also really interesting. Then I think the next one was probably the Erstsemester Akademie Zukunftsfähig. So yeah, for the non-German speakers, it was basically like a week for first semesters before the actual week for first semesters at the university. So it was actually to show basically new students in Freiburg where they can actively participate in associations that have to do with sustainability. So we didn't organize it on our own, but with different associations in Freiburg. That was pretty recent. That was at the end of November, Women in Leadership 3. So that's when we invited many women from leading positions, but also some men, to tell us about their career and their experiences by means of like keynotes, but also workshops and even the fuck up night, like fuck up night speeches. So that was really fun. And then we also, of course, try to connect different possibilities that students have here. For example, like incubators and with actually the students. So we actually had Unternehmenslos, which was an event to connect startups that are looking for people with students interested in working in a startup. And then the HALT Prize, this is basically like happening right now. So the demo day is tomorrow. So we're organizing the first, like the on-campus state, like the on-campus phase. And that aims at like fostering innovative ideas with the goal of that have to do with sustainable development goals by the UN. So that's really interesting as well. I hope you got a good overview. If there's anything else, or if you're interested and you want to stay in touch with us, then these are our social media platforms, and you can also just write us an email. That'd be really great. Thank you.
Fantastic, Marina. Thank you so much for your overview of what you do in Freiburg. And with that, dear participants, dear panelists, we have all 7 teams on board, so to speak. And I was talking to Alexander while we were preparing this panel discussion, how to best use these 90 minutes or maximum of 90 minutes that we have. So we tried to bring some structure into the panel discussion, and based on the questions that we came up with, and of course also the questions that the teams came up with, we would like to next up address individual blocks. I would like to begin with the general background and the general motives, because as we learned now, each student association that presented itself is coming from a completely different background, or the different backgrounds are very varied. So we'd like to know, what is the background? What are the motives? After that, we'd move on to the challenges. What are the individual challenges that you are facing out there? Then we go to networking. Is there any specific type of networking you do? Are there challenges you have in networking, or does networking come very easy to you? Then of course, we're gonna talk about sustainability and responsibility, and we're gonna finish by moving on to the role of EPICUR. How can EPICUR help to support you out there, or what could you do for EPICUR? Now, after each block, I'll check in with Alexander to see if there's any questions, because you, dear audience members who are watching us on Zoom, you can, of course, just send in a question, write this question into the chat to Q&A as a private message, and then Alexander will lift it onto me, onto the virtual stage. And of course, dear panelists, dear teams, this is supposed to be a lively discussion, so please don't sit back, but get involved and, say something if you want to. Don't wait for me to call up on you, but enliven the conversation, so to speak. And with that, I'd say let's begin with the first block. Let's talk about the motives and the general background that you have for being active in your student association. What are the reasons for establishing an entrepreneurial association? Ify, I'd like to begin with you. What are your reasons?
Hello, I would like to answer my teammate Georgia, if that is possible. Great, thank you. Georgia?
See Georgia, there she is. Yeah, fantastic.
Yes. Hello there. My name is Georgia. I'm from Mindspace. And I would like to tell you that in Greece, it is noticed that there is a lack of opportunities for Greek students to interact with the entrepreneurial world. In departments such as electrical engineering, School of Arts, or medical schools, there are no projects or courses that can help students to involve with entrepreneurship. Although organizations like Mindspace and the other organizations, set the goal to change this culture, Greek universities culture, and bring students closer to entrepreneurship. Maybe the students through these organizations can invest their effort where they have little previous knowledge, and where they can learn in a position of relative security. Furthermore, I don't have any ideas. Evie, can you help me, please?
Yes, of course. The reasons actually for such an organization has to do with inspiration and finding motivations for students to get involved with entrepreneurship and not be afraid to keep on with their ideas or be afraid of that. I think this is from us.
I'd like to ask the other participants, guys, do you have anything you'd like to add to that? What is your motivation? Because like when I spoke to Alexander in the preparation, he was like, it's a lot of work and you have a lot of work going, to all your seminars, and, that takes up a lot of time, and then investing more time in a student association, that, is a lot of work. So what is your reason for establishing an entrepreneurial association? Philip, maybe I go to you.
Yeah, sure. I think that at the University of Freiburg, we already have the academic part, a chair which especially handles entrepreneurship education. And so our understanding is also to fill the entrepreneurial journey with values, because of course it is important to have the right tools at hand, but at the same time need something like a compass after which you decide what to do, because of course you can imagine a lot of scenarios and try to train them, but in the end reality is such a vast and complex thing that it's hard to really predict every movement of science or technology in the markets in general. And so that's actually something that is very important for us, that we exchange views on values, and also that we have kind of like a familiar atmosphere in which everybody also dares to tell his or her opinion.
Thank you, Philip. Tobias, what about you? Would you like to add something?
Yes, of course. To add to Philip something, I think the student club is it's easier for other students to come with, to have some people to talk with, and not to go to the big university and talk with some people. I think that's a good approach why there are student clubs. So for us, for Pionier Garage, I think in 2009 there was a meetup for a few students who want to talk about entrepreneurship and things and talk about. And now it's we are a group with like-minded people. We want to do things. We like innovation. We want to do new technology. So that's pretty why we are here, and why I think we get new members.
Okay, I'm looking into the round. Would anybody like to add anything? Do you have any different motives for becoming active in the student association?
Yes. In my case, as I said before, it was to go fast to the prototyping steps, and without wasting money. Giving money to lawyers and incorporate and do those kind of things. It was really to move directly to the point of starting something. And also, as it can cost money at the beginning, we create this we create this association so that members can buy together equipment or things like this. But we are really in the deep tech field, so yeah, it's maybe a bit specific. Thanks.
Let's go on to the mission statement. Now that we sort of know why you guys are around and why you're putting so much time into your student association, I'd like to know, do you have a clear established mission per se? And does it fit into the mission of the university that you're attending or that you're surrounded by? I would like to have this question into the group also.
I can start. Yeah, our mission is to inspire and enable students to run their own business successfully. And I looked it up for the KIT, the mission statement, and I didn't find something for entrepreneurship. So they want to be good in academic and want to transfer knowledge and want to build future leaders, but they don't state it in the short mission statement that we want to be entrepreneurial university. So I think that's another point for us.
Okay, Katarina, what about you? Your position is a little bit different maybe than the position of the others because you're a little bit outside of the university. What about you? Does your organization align with the mission statement of the university? And what is a mission statement, if there is one?
Yes, of course. Yes, we are not, Poznań Science and Technology Park is not a students' organization, but we in fact collaborate very closely with the university because we are, as I mentioned, main department of Adam Mickiewicz University Foundation, which has been founded many years ago. It was 1990. To support university in different fields. But the main idea was to support the university in technology transfer, in commercialization, in bringing the research results and researchers closer to the market, to the business. And this is what we do. This is our mission to build the bridge between the science and the business. So this is the support we provide to the university. And I think it does align with the mission of university, definitely. I think nowadays it's more than ever really important for the university to commercialize and to bring its results, its research results closer to the market. And so I think, yes, it corresponds perfectly.
Thank you, Katarina. Gregory, I'll get you into the boat. How is it in Strasbourg? Does your mission statement, do you have a mission statement as such align with the Université de Strasbourg?
Yeah, maybe it's a third strategy because since 2014, we are a unit of the university. So my team are employee of the university, so it totally fits with the strategy of the university. That may be the more efficient things of all the participants, but yes, we are lucky.
Okay. Now, I'm not sure if all of you watched the keynote or listened and watched the keynote of Professor Tertsidis 2 days ago, where we spoke about entrepreneurship and the general question, can entrepreneurship even be taught? And if so, how can it be taught? So I'd like to ask all of you now, do you think studies in general at university promote the entrepreneurial spirit? What would you say to that? Tobias, you're laughing, so I'll start with you.
That's a really good question. maybe in some business studies, they have entrepreneurial subjects also, but for example, in electrical engineering also, I don't think that they have, I don't know, but I didn't heard it. So they don't have entrepreneurial education. So that's where hopefully we come in and we provide a network and the environment for the entrepreneurial interested students to get some knowledge. And I want to add also that I don't think that entrepreneurship can be taught in university. I think it's a hands-on thing, and you need to get experience, and overall you get then some experiences.
Okay, I think maybe you have to speak to Professor Tertsidis because I think he might have a different opinion on that. Florian, let me ask you, how is it in Vienna?
Yes, thank you. I wanted to add on this. I think you're right, Tobias, that it's in many studies it's not present, right? So we learn a lot of things. It's very with much data and so on, but there's not this, okay, what can we do with this data, and how do we transform it into the real world and yeah, implement ideas or translate it to entrepreneurial activities. And that's also what I think where the students associations or clubs come in, where we can foster this enabling and the to take this knowledge from the university, from the studies, and actually implement it in the real world. But what I'm also seeing is that in at BOKU and also other universities, there entrepreneurial education is more and more implemented in the studies and in the curriculum, which I think is good because it's a form of creating future and sort of shaping the environment you are living in. You can start where you are. You don't have to wait until your bachelor's or master degree is ready and then so on. So you can be hands-on and take it where you start. So I think that's also one part of the mission of all of us, maybe that that it is to enable students to be capable of implementing what they know, what they want, and create a future which is yeah, livable for all of us on a habitable planet. So I think yeah, that's what we can do here, and where this connection to the universities and the studies. And yeah, but I'm happy that it's more and more implemented into the studies, this entrepreneurial thinking and this approach. But yeah, but what we are also seeing is that there is sometimes a lack of students who want to do ideas and implement their ideas and also their scientific work, that they don't have the experience. But that's also where this entrepreneurial education is very important, from the university on the one side and also from our work, what we do to raise this awareness and also give skills and give the opportunity to learn what does it mean to be entrepreneurial, to an entrepreneur, right?
Florian, thank you very much. Evi, I saw that you wanted to say something, but I also saw that Marina raised her hand first. So maybe we begin with Marina and then I hand over to you, Evi, if that's okay.
Yeah, thanks. So I want to say that I totally agree with Florian because Tobias, you're right. So this is entrepreneurship has to be hands-on and is really hard to actually teach. But I believe that, as Philip already mentioned, the University of Freiburg offers a department for entrepreneurship and also a so-called like entrepreneurship or innovation office. And I believe that this is actually important to like lower the hurdle for students, because I feel like entrepreneurship and like all these crazy people building up big companies having a great impact seems like so far away that it is really important to show everybody that you can really make a difference and you can have an impact with a startup idea, with innovation. And then I think it's also important to basically spread the consciousness of knowing that basically entrepreneurship is not only about creating a big company and making a lot of money. It isn't, but trying to make people understand that there's a change and that you can really have an impact on sustainability, on the society with innovation. And so I think it's important to, let people know from the beginning, from the start of the university career, that they can be a part of it. So it's important to integrate it. Yeah.
Absolutely. I fully agree with you. And with that, I hand over to you, Efi.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. I think that it's really hard for entrepreneurship spirit to be taught in universities, but it's not impossible. This can happen with evidence-based exercises or with entrepreneur guests that can inspire the students and help them possess knowledge and cultivate the mindset to take advantage of different opportunities, learn about their responsibilities, the problems they have to face when they come to work and deal with their own company. Through these ways, they have the chance in universities to experiment with innovative ideas or tools, something that's really practical, and it's not just theory and research. Although we should not forget that the entrepreneurial associations, like all of our teams, have a supplementary and supportive role with the education in universities. Through this action, the students can improve their soft skills and brighten their minds with organized actions, meetup, and other activities.
Thank you, Efi. Now, we sort of had a listen around as to why you are also active with your student associations. But now I'd like to know, what are the factors that let you find out that you are in fact successful? What are the success factors in students' entrepreneurial projects? What do you have to say to that? Pierre, I'll start with you. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you, but if you have something to add, I'll be happy and take it.
Let me think for a second to you.
Okay, so maybe I'll open up the circle. If you look at your activities within your student associations, what makes you think that the projects, or what not think, but what makes you know that the projects are in fact a success? Obviously, those factors would be very different for each one of you.
Maybe when I can start. When we look on why projects or ideas fail or startups fail, I think the two most important things are the team. So the team culture isn't right, that there is not the right chemical issues between the team members, and that there is no market or not the right knowledge about what is my market and where do I go and to whom can I sell to and what is the price and so on. So I think one of the metrics that are there to see, like, okay, is it successful and do the people develop, and the idea is actually the team and how long the ideas can stay alive. Let's say it like this, because in the end it's about making profits and stay into the market with a startup idea especially. So I think this is one factor, the team and how long they are capable of working together and also be in this environment.
Do we have any other success factor keys in our group?
Yes, I think so. I think I totally agree with Florian. The first success or not success issue is the team, and also the commitment of the teaching of the pedagogic team, because we often see a young entrepreneur that are really motivated by their project, or they want to do that of thing, but the teacher don't let us to do what they want. They say that you have to work for your exam, you have to be one of the better of the promotion, and they don't have enough time to work on the project. And when you can have some teachers that are more understanding about the project and the entrepreneurship volunteer of the people, we can see that we can have some agreements because some units are not to be done or can change one unit by the entrepreneurial project, and that helps a lot for young entrepreneurs.
Thank you, Gregory. Florian, I'd like to get back to you with one question. That's the question of the entrepreneurial environment. How do these entrepreneurial projects of students fit into the entrepreneurial environment of the university, in your case in Vienna? How does that work?
It's an interesting question. I think the entrepreneurial network at the universities in Vienna is getting more dense. So in the last year, there have been like entrepreneurial centers being developed, and entrepreneurship education and networks around this, also with not university stakeholders from private and public sector. And I think everybody got their mission and their goals, and students and entrepreneurs, they fit into it quite well, because they are the ones who have like fresh thinking, who are innovative, who have like this new knowledge which is necessary to firstly to solve problems in this entrepreneurial environment, and also like issues on climate change and related things, but also they're capable of like getting this new network thinking, or what has been developed in the last decades. I think so, that it's more and more connected, and also with digitalization and so on. So especially young people as we are, I think we are capable of doing this, and also students who are like willing to pay more attention and be entrepreneurial. They fit into this network of let's implement scientific research, let's make companies out of it. Where they have the knowledge and the capabilities to do so. But it's a two-sided thing, because there are students club as we are, but there are also the universities who have their offers and their lectures and so on. So it has to meet in the middle. I think so, because if it's just one-sided, then it won't reach its full potential, and its its full potential. Let's keep it with that.
Thank you very much, Florian. I have in this round one final question to Marina and Philip. The question would be about role models. Like, do you have role models, the two of you, and are they the right role models? And before I let you answer that question, there's a comment here in the chat. I don't know if you saw it also. It's from Frauke from Freiburg. She says, we do really appreciate the work of our Founders Club in Freiburg. They're the ones who are very close to the students. Projects are very inspiring, and that's exactly what we need, inspiration question. So that's the perfect Überleitung to the role model question. So who are your role models?
Yeah, Marina, if you don't mind, I will start with this one. Yeah, I think the ones that are like very famous and also like perceived positive in the public opinion are people like Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, or Jeff Bezos. And if you apply, the classic criteria of how to measure success, the profit margin or the funding, the capital raised, the number of employees, it is indeed impressive what those people did in the past. But when you talk about people like Christian Kroll, Waldemar Zeiler, Bill Drayton, Uwe Lübbermann, Luciano Ibarra, I'm sure that they are not so known and not so familiar among the public. And that's maybe because they are like impact entrepreneurs or also social entrepreneurs. It doesn't really matter how you call them. But what they have in common is that their foremost goal is not the speed of scaling up their business and saving the highest share of the market, but they are driven by different goals, so to say. And another reason why they are maybe not so present in the media is because they are people which like to implement processes which enable other people and then in the consequence enable communities to do positive impact. And what I also like is the idea of broadening the term of entrepreneurship and entrepreneur in general, because sometimes maybe it's not enough to play the game very well. That's I think what most of the traditional entrepreneurs try to do. Sometimes it's also appropriate to question the game. And for example, a person like Armin Steuernagel, which is active in the field of lobbying for a new kind of legal entity to do a business, is maybe such an example. Like in the last 3 years, he maybe has employed 3 people and has no profits at all because he's more like an NGO. And so in the traditional measures, he would be like a no one, a nobody. But he was actually promoting steward ownership. And in this idea, you don't own a company, but the company owns itself. That means that all important decisions which involve the strategic directions of the company are made within the company. So the possibility that, at some point the company gets like a playing field for financial investors which try like to work for their interests and maybe not for the interests of society, of the employees, is kind of like forbidden by definition. And these are things which I find amazing and interesting, and also which maybe merit like more attention. And because also like recently N27, this digital bank, which was like an absolute shooting star in Germany, actually also has practices where once they were like kind of forbidding to establish a workers' council, which was not perceived well, because like in the end, why wouldn't you not like let the also employees the opportunity to organize themselves? This is also kind of entrepreneurship. If like some employees see, okay, like it is now, it's not satisfying for us, and we work towards like better conditions for us. So totally comprehensible. And like the discussion, which I also find very important, is like maybe also some of the problems and issues we see with startups are underlying values, because like when the values are like competitiveness and uniqueness and dominance, then you could explain some of that behavior very well. Because what I want for the future is that maybe the strong contradictions between the lobbying teams of startups and like the marketing teams resolve, because like the marketing teams always also like talk about those values of common sense, community, sustainability. But like take Volkswagen, for instance, like their lobby team like worked for years like to lower the standards for emissions, and that's actually yeah, kind of a contradictory behavior. And I'm looking forward for the next generation of entrepreneurs, which is able to overcome these kind of contradictions.
Absolutely. Before we move on to questions from our audience members, quick round, any other role models that you'd like to mention briefly at this point? Because I see time is moving on fastly. So if there is no other role models, I mean, Philip, that was great input. Then I'd say I'll check in with Alexander to see if there's any questions from the audience members. Or Tobias, you have something? Sorry, I can't hear you.
One short addition. I think it's really helpful if we have local role models. For example, if some entrepreneurs from KIT come to university and say, hey, I'm one of you and I did it, I had the time or something else while studying, trying something out, and at the end, I built companies like Campusjäger also, and that we have role models which are near to us. I think that's pretty important to inspire students.
Thank you, Tobias. Okay, Alex, what have we got? What's out there?
Yo, we have a question from the chat. It says, do you consider yourself as an entrepreneur? So you as a team member of a student association who is dealing with these topics, it says, do you consider yourself as being an entrepreneur? Maybe those of you who do, maybe they can raise their hands so we can see who of you is an entrepreneur.
Pierre? Tobias?
Philip?
Florian?
Okay, cool. Still, I think there are different roles in that. So, you know, being entrepreneurial, of course, there's a huge intersection. What you are doing, you're also organizing resources. You're also motivating people, of course. But it is maybe also a little bit different work to be done. Some of you have another entrepreneurial project on the side, of course. So that's why I think this is all right.
Thank you very much. With that, let's move on to the next block, and that would be the challenges. I'd like to know from you, dear participants, what are the challenges that you are facing? And Katarina, I'll begin with you. Tell us about your challenges.
Okay. I suppose the challenges that we face are maybe not similar to those of the others, because we are a different organization, a pretty big organization, but some of the challenges can be similar. We also struggle with getting in touch to companies, because what's important for us is to give our students an opportunity to work on the real challenges, real problems, and be in touch with real companies and corporates to learn from them. But it's not always so easy. So I would say yes, this is one of the challenge, and of course we would be still even more and more active at the university, and have more courses, more classes, more workshops. Yes, so this is also a challenge sometimes.
Ify, what challenges are you facing?
There are quite many, but we can deal with this. Kiki, would you like to mention some of these?
Hello, I'm Kiki and I'm a member of the Mindspace team. So one of the problems that we face as a team and as an organization is that we don't have a specific place on campus where projects will take place, so students can get engaged easily because of the lack of accessibility. But this fortunately doesn't affect us so much because we have strong networking through our social media. And also we have already took some actions and came in contact with the technology transfer office of Aristotle University Saloniki, so that they will provide their own place soon. That's it.
Thank you, Kiki. Tobias, let me get to you. We saw a little bit earlier, and we also see behind you now the image of the launch pad. So having a space isn't a challenge for you, or is it?
Yeah, that's it's both, of course. On one side, it's a huge opportunity to have our own space, as we heard before, that we can provide office space, can have a room for ideas and a room for meeting the students. On the other side, of course, it's also a few challenges. You need to maintain it. You need to be clean, nice, and all the things. So one of our challenges is the long-time funding, I would say. Luckily, we got some grants last year to have parts of it financed before, or now we have also some sponsors to finance it. On the other side, to gain new members, especially from different student subjects, like the Founders Club say, they are very diverse. The last years, we go more into two different subjects, the business and engineering studies, and on the other side, computer science. So electrical engineering or mechanical engineering, these subjects are almost missing now. So an idea to solve this could be to have one small mandatory course for entrepreneurship, or like one speech of an alumni for each subject to see the opportunity for every student to make a way of entrepreneurship open for them.
Pierre, if I can get to you, you mentioned a little bit earlier, your challenge are different challenges, getting the right amount of chemicals, getting the business registration numbers. What other challenges are you facing in your endeavors?
Yes, so those are the offer we propose to student entrepreneur. One of our challenge come from the fact that we are over specialized in those deep tech. So it's, for example, it's hard to with the turnover of member to have like running. For this is my current problem at the moment, to recruit new members and make them understand what we do, why we do that, and how this can help them. And meanwhile, do not spend all my time doing this, because I'm an entrepreneur and I have like other things to do. Yeah, so those are the two issues at the moment.
So it seems that a lot of you would like to have more members, more active members. So is there any tips, any clues, any hints that you guys could give each other as in to how to get more members, how to get more active members, especially interdisciplinary members, if that is the case? How could you get more members? What are your tips? Marina, do you have any ideas?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question. That was also a big topic when we talked about, or was a big topic in our marketing team, because we believe that marketing actually starts basically within the association, because I think that by creating events that people value and that make people like enthusiastic about our like topics, is the best way to go, because that's how maybe at the beginning they're in the audience, maybe at some point if they're more experienced, they want to participate by holding a speech, and then at some point maybe they'll get back to you and say, hey, so I think I want to be a part of your team. So that's how we do it. Yeah, and then I think it's also important to start right at the beginning. So I mentioned earlier the Erste Academy, which was like this like this week for first semesters, because I think that the earlier the better, because people, like the young students, are still super motivated and they really want to engage. So like starting off with them and like showing them like how many options they have is just really great, because they then also bring a lot of like energy into the group, and that also then attracts others maybe. And then I think it's a lot about, if you have a cool event, and then you post it, and then people repost it, and then there's an article about it, and then I think it's more this way to go, not as much, yeah, I don't know, not as much like the actual social media marketing or anything. So I think it's more like the, what's it called, like the word of the mouth or something. It's like the, yeah. So that's my opinion.
But with like events and stuff, like if you want to host cool events, it would be more difficult right now during COVID times to, how do you get people together? Is it only online then?
Yeah, I mean, that's like the crucial question, to make events even cooler digitally. But I think it is possible, and I mean, everything like entails disadvantages, but then on the other hand, as everybody is totally happy to work remotely, you can just text anybody, any expert on any topic, and ask them if they want to spend, I don't know, half an hour and inspire young people, and then you have like this this great expert that is going to be part of your event, and then that's how you can attract many like new like the audience, and they become like the members, and then it's like an entire circle. So I think you have to like focus on using making the best out of the opportunities, and I think that's there are many in this digital period of time at the moment.
But isn't that also the key to entrepreneurship, is making the best out of the opportunities that lie in front of you? Gregory, may I check in with you? What are your challenges and how are you overcoming them?
I won't talk about challenges, but I just want to rebound on what Marina said, because I think that the actual situation, the difficult situation, it's quite a good opportunity for structure like us to more collaborate, because as you say, Marina, you can interview some expert, and why it is expert because it's online, you can speak to French, to German, to Greek people, and that's, I think, a huge opportunity. And maybe we didn't catch it as good as we have to do.
Okay, well, you might still have some time to utilize it a little bit better. Let's check in with Alexander at this point and see if we have any questions that came in the chat. Any questions regarding the challenges that our student associations are facing? Alexander, let's see if you have some input for us.
Well, there is no input from the chat, but I have a question that's also in our environment is very important. Now, how do your team members, not only within your association, but also those students who are members of your associations and who will maybe also do the real project, how is your perception on their time that they need to spend and involve in the projects next to being involved in the educational processes of the university? Is it a challenge for you also, and how your university deals with that?
Maybe I can answer on this. We try to evaluate how much time our team members have in the last year, and how much time they're willing to spend in the organization, but how at the same time how much is needed from their role perspective. So everybody has their roles, and how much time would they need to do it. And what we've seen is that there is too little time. So everybody got between 5 and 10 hours max to spend for sick in the organization and do all the work. so it's, and we had a gap there, and we're now trying to find ways how to close this gap with new members and so on, but it would also means new work, more work to like have the team culture alive and do all the knowledge management internally. And so we're trying to find new ways. What I think is crucial is that many people do, at least here in Vienna, do work next to their education. So they study, work, and like be part of SIG or other institutions or organizations, and have lives also as well. So it's hard to find this balance, and it's for everybody. I think it's not easy, but there are also opportunities from universities like to support it, or there are already some incentives that we could achieve. For example, it's possible to get this time spent with SIG like accredited for practica at the university, for at least some studies. So that's one opportunity where this, it meets the university life and the organization life. Yeah, but I think there are also some other more incentives, not only credit based, but also like with joint events or something like this. So yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Marina, you'd like to add something?
Yeah, so I want to add an example, for example, which is the startup competition that we hosted last year called Spark. We actually agreed on, so we talked to the university, and not only the participants, but also some of our team members were able to use this, or to let this count as a BOK course, which is something that you have to take at the university. So I think if you communicate, or if you like try to get in touch with the university and really try to like combine these things, then it's possible. And then on top of that, I also believe that balancing like all the different interests and activities that you have is something that you will always have to do in life. And so I think there's like this, you can't start earlier, like there's no too early to start. So yeah, maybe that's also an important point, that you should always like take the time for the things you like, I guess. And there's always a way to like harmonize it. Like, yeah.
Thank you, Marina. Let's look at the next segment. Alexander, I thank you very much for this input. Let's move on to the next segment, which is networking. So Katarina, I'd like to come to you and ask you, how do you connect students to relevant stakeholders in your network, which is of course outside of the university environment? What do you do there?
Yes, connecting is very important for us, because we want to be this bridge, as I mentioned. And we do this in many different ways. Of course, the European projects and European money gives us plenty of opportunities, because in the framework of our projects, we with our international partners, we can arrange meetings, workshops, meetups with investors, and webinars right now. But we have, of course, also our own our outdoor programs like the Skillers. And I think this is the right example, because this is exactly the program which gives the opportunity to meet managers from companies, to get known their needs, and to work on their problems and challenges. So the Skillers are definitely the way how we do this. As a foundation, because as I said, we as Science and Technology Park are part of the University Foundation. We have a couple of scholarship programs. One of them we realized with a big Polish company, which gives us funding for the scholarship program. And our scholars gain not only the scholarship, but also the possibility of an internship in this company. So this is also such a tool. Yes, so we have also, we are finally part of Digital Innovation Hub, one of 5 digital innovation hubs in Poland. It's also very interesting and gives plenty of possibilities. Within this project, we organize also meetings which are maybe not for students, rather for startups. Or young entrepreneurs, but why not? And within this project, we of course support the idea of digital transformation and so on. So there are really many possibilities and many tools.
Thank you, Katarina. Gregory, let me get back to you. Now, ETNI consists of 8 people, a total of 8 people in the Alsace region. Tell us about how you 8 people came together and how you're organized. What's your organizational structure?
We are 8, in fact, and as I said before, we are employees from the university, because now the structure is inside the university. So we are all employed by the 2 universities in Alsace, which is University of Strasbourg, that I represent, and the University of Mulhouse, that's another university. And so we are employees. We have a common strategic roadmap that are validated by the political person in the university. And how we work in management, if that's the question, we use a lot of numeric tools such as Zoom, like today, but it's just a matter of management. So I think we discussed a lot and have some share our ideas, and everyone is quite independent and have his own job to do. So
I was having just a little bit difficulty hearing you. I don't know if the audio connection, I don't know if you can turn up your microphone just a little bit. Maybe it was just me. I'm not entirely sure. But let me open up the question now to all of you. How do you network with entrepreneurs, with partners, with investors, especially maybe also now considering these challenging times? Florian, maybe?
Thank you. So how do we network? I think it's so we stay in contact with our established partners and people who we worked with. So it's yeah, maybe it's just a call, right? And give like updates to each other and check on what's coming up the next year or what's happening. But we now it's a bit difficult, or last year have been difficult in terms of this, but we also tried like to go to events related to our mission and issues. So there is already like a network related to sustainable entrepreneurship in Vienna, which we are part of, and we try to be connected with it. But it's not always easy, and it's much work, and that's also one of the challenges that we face. That it's sometimes too much for our little time, and so we try to always evaluate, okay, what we are doing, which partners are like accessible for that, what we want to do, and try to speak to those, and also like connect the student teams that we consult, or to connect to related people and institutions, because we don't have all the knowledge and all the expertise. So there are others who know more than we do. So we connect them to those partners and institutions. So it's partly direct contact, but also hidden contact, let's say. So it's through our offers that we do and our activities that we all stay in the network and in contact.
Tobias, do you have direct as well as hidden contacts also, or how does networking happen in Karlsruhe?
Yeah, we are in contact with very different partners. For example, with other student clubs, especially with Freiburg, because we are so near Freiburg and Mannheim. We are the closest, but also to other German-speaking associations. We are connected via the Gründermagnet. It's a umbrella organization for these student associations. And there is one big event each year, the Compass, where we meet together normally and have some exchange. Today we do it via Zoom, of course, via digital tools. The purpose is knowledge exchange or best practice exchange. That's the main reason. On the other side, we have also contact with local partners, KIT, of course, and all the other entrepreneurship initiatives from KIT, Cyber Forum, or the partners in Karlsruhe. Then we have our alumni, which have their own companies or work in other companies. We invite them, for example, to be a mentor in our student founding contest, GROW, which takes place now. So, many different types of partners with different approaches.
Marina, I saw you had raised your hand and lowered it again. Did you want to add something?
Yeah, so Tobias addressed this at the end, but I just wanted to point out that actually at the moment I believe that it's even easier to network because of course, so this has to be this has to be differentiated, because of course, like from the people that you already know and the partners you have, it is really hard to make the contact even closer, because you can't really see each other face to face. But on the other hand, like the networking that has to do with reaching out to people that live wherever, like all around the world, and have different branches of expertise. That's the perfect time, because it has never been less random to just text somebody on LinkedIn and invite them to an event. And so, for example, and then I believe things just evolve. For example, we had the Women in Leadership event, and then so I was responsible for this one workshop, and I thought that the woman holding the workshop was really inspiring. So somehow we scheduled a virtual coffee. So I don't know, things just happen. So I wouldn't see it this negatively. I'd say that there are actually many opportunities at the moment to network.
Absolutely. Now, I did have a couple more segment blocks prepared for you today, but time is really running out. So we're going to have to, unfortunately, skip the rest of networking, go over sustainability and responsibility, and end the last 7 minutes with the role of EPICUR. So I would like to know from all the participants in the panel today, how can EPICUR, as an alliance of 8 universities, support your activities, all of your activities? I'm going to ask every one of you, and what would you like the next step to be? So Gregory, maybe I'll begin with you.
Okay, that's a huge question, and I think a big challenge for us to be more connected and to work more together. Just as said, Marina, the situation is an opportunity for us, and I think if you want to start collaboration, to start making things together, we have to set up some first meeting and work on maybe 1, 2, or 3 first subjects, not to have a big overview of what we can do, but start rapidly with some things we can do now, rapid things, and start doing that. So I'm totally open to work with you.
Thank you, Gregory. Ify, I'll move on to you because you're next on my screen at least.
Great, thank you. I think that EPICUR is a great initiative, and it can provide to all the universities that participate and the associations great options to get improved and to work with each other. There are examples like common actions, trainings, we can interact with each other, and maybe the next step could be a common discussion in order to find out our strengths and weaknesses, and learn from each other, and find some new ideas that can be useful for everyone all over Europe, for example. Thank you.
Thank you, Ify. Philip, what is your idea? How can EPICUR support you, and what would you like the next steps to be?
Yeah, I think Tobias earlier mentioned the Gründermagnet, which is the umbrella association of student entrepreneurial clubs in the German-speaking regions. And yeah, we internally already discussed that maybe it would be also useful to think about a European umbrella association for this purpose. So yeah, if we had more time, I would also be like keen to know how it is like in the other countries, if there exists something equivalent to the Gründermagnet, maybe. And because having this would make it much more easy to coordinate such a project. But it would be definitely in addition, because right now it's also not possible to just like take on like initiatives from Greece or from France, because like yeah, our internal like communication is German, so there would be still just this language barrier. But yeah, this is something which is up for discussion, and yeah, I'm also very happy that I met Florian virtually today, because it's great to see that in other parts people work on the same things, have the same values, and yeah, I appreciate it very much.
Tobias, let's move on to you.
Yeah, so there I have 2 or 3 ideas. The first one would be a startup tour, because we as Pioneer Garage, we did almost every year a startup tour to different countries, or also in Germany to Berlin or to Zurich also. So that would be an idea that we as 8 universities say, okay, this year we go to I don't know, Thessaloniki or so, and together with a few people co-financed, maybe by EPICUR or co-organized, so we can visit startups there and get connect locally. And so over the next few years, we see all the different cities, and hopefully the associations will be better connected. The second is more specific for the Elsass and Freiburg and Karlsruhe area, because we are so close. I think we could even work more closer. For example, share resources or co-advertise events, because we can go there in normal times easily. And yeah, this advertising was the last thing. So that would be ideas.
Thank you, Tobias, for your ideas. Katarina, let me ask you, what is your input here? What could the next steps be, and what support would you like from EPICUR?
I can only invite you to Poznań, because there is nothing we do at the Adam Mickiewicz University what we cannot do for the students of your universities. So really, if you just want to drop into Poznań, I can only invite you, and we We have classes in English, so it's not a problem. And so I highly recommend you.
Thank you, Katarina. Pierre, what is your input here? What would you like to have happen?
Yeah, I totally agree with Tobias for the local European local club, let's say. For the EPICUR, yeah, I think this umbrella mixed kind of umbrella organization is a great idea. I didn't thought about it, but now that I heard it, I find it great. Otherwise, I do not have, do not have more to add on this.
Thank you very much, Pierre. I think I see that we've lost Florian. So Marina, I'll ask you, what input do you have? What would you like to have happen?
Well, I think the ideas that were already said were really good. I totally agree. For me personally, I think it would be great to maybe do some more things together with the focus on sustainability, and that'd be great, because actually I don't know, well, until today I didn't even know that there were such great projects basically like nearby. So that's something that we have to initiate. So, but yeah, I totally agree with everybody else. I think there are many cool things we can do. We just gotta start.
Absolutely, gotta start. Thank you very much, Marina. And now for the final sort of tally up of what was said, I'd like to ask Alexander back up on stage. Alexander, can you share with us, like, in your opinion, like, what are your takeaways? What are the top 3 insights that you took away from this panel discussion today?
Well, I was working with 5 hands, I tell you, and I was noting down many things. I will share the screen with you. So I created a mural board. So I have some clusters, and here we can see that we talked quite a lot about challenges. Challenges are, for example, networking. It's hard to teach entrepreneurship. You need to more experience that. But for a student association, it is important to have co-working spaces, also to find alumni networks, to find members and acquire new members. And this is also the challenge, how to find the right time for that, how to find the right things to do, because you have the split role. You are a student, you are organizer of these events, you are an entrepreneur, so time is limited. It is also interesting and also challenging to find interdisciplinary teams, you know, to fill the entrepreneurial teams also with capabilities and competences. So recruiting new members, I already talked. The workload is a challenge, and so on and so on. But we also had some success factors that we talked about. So although education seems to be something which is not maybe the right thing to have in this entrepreneurial context, but still there is a foundation that you can acquire through entrepreneurship education. And evidence-based education, Professor Sidis talked about simulator, is something which is it could be a success factor. Now, having the right team and also the pedagogical approaches. What I found interesting is we have some role models, and we didn't go too much into this direction of Elon Musk, for example. You mentioned the name, but still, I think the main idea was to go for people who question the game, who consider social entrepreneurship as important, and also for people who enable other people to do things. Network is also a success factor, but also a challenge for us. And yeah, we talked about sustainability in these terms, that people may not know much about their values actually. And if they knew more about that, maybe more sustainable projects would appear. Now, the role of EPICUR, we said, let's connect more, let's know more about each other, and let's try to see the current situation also not only as a challenge, but also as an opportunity to connect, because it's now much easier to, you know, get in contact with each other, as Marina said also. We can also have a meeting where we find out what is our strengths and weaknesses, so that we then learn from each other how to improve, what are the best practices. And yeah, we talked that we said that an European umbrella association could make sense in order to have something that connects us. And we had an invitation to Poznan to visit their facilities and their programs, and so on and so on. Maybe we can think about, when the pandemic is over, hopefully, that we can organize a startup tour event, that we can visit our locations and see how we live and work on the special occasions. I hope this is an overview. So we will take that, we will work on that, we will see what measures and which next steps can be done in the next future, and we will come back to you with our ideas. Timsy, now I hand over to you again.
Fantastic. You did really well. Thank you so much for taking all the notes, all the questions, 5 hands, doing everything at the same time. Now, is there anywhere afterwards that one can maybe access the notes that you took now, Alexander? Are you going to post them somewhere so people can sort of have a look at that?
Yes, we will share these notes, of course, with the participants, at least with the student clubs, and we will let you know where to find it, because I think it needs a little bit more elaboration. It's just the notes of it.
Great. Alexander, thank you very much. And at this point, a very warm thank you to all panelists. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, and thank you for sharing your insights with us today in this panel discussion. If you are watching us on Zoom, we invite you to just stick around, because there's going to be a networking carousel coming up where you can meet an Epicurean right here. And if you're watching us on YouTube in the live stream, we're going to be taking a short break. And then we're going to be back at 4:45 p.m. where we will reveal the winners of the EPICUR Feeling, or the Erasmus Feeling Challenge rather. This will begin at 4:45 p.m. I'm very much looking forward to the entries there. And then of course we have the official closing, which will happen later on this evening. So thank you so much to all the panelists. Thank you to you, dear viewers, and we'll be seeing you a little bit later. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a nice day.